Okay, we're going to review a few things and bring in our Avenza file into ArcMap. So ArcMap is open. Now, first thing you always want to do is you want to set the map projection. So this is a bit of a review from last week. So you want to go Data Frame Properties, into the Coordinate System, and go down to UTM. So this is the map projection for your for this map. And so again, these are important details, but you want to make sure you navigate to UTM Zone 10. Okay, so now once that is set, I'm going to start adding some data. Now, I've already made some connections to folders, but something you're going to have to review is that you're going to need to connect to a folder. So you're going to want to navigate to your H drive and connect to whatever level of folder within your H drive that makes sense. So you could just simply connect to H and then you'll have access to everything within H, or if there's a specific folder where you're saving your files, you may want to use that one. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to, I'm going to bring in the ortho photo. So this is from week 1 data, and there is this ortho photo, Gishon Creek 600, it's a JPEG. So an orthophoto, what it is it's an image that is georeferenced. So it has coordinates, as you can see down here. You can see the UTM coordinates for this map. Next thing we're going to do is bring in our .csv data, which includes tree data and building data. In my case, I think I put it in here. I only have, here, it's this file here. I called it trees, and because I only have tree data in here. So I'm going to add that. So this right now is currently just a table. You can see with this little icon, it's just a little table. If you right click on it and open, you see what's called the attribute table. So these are the attributes within there, and what I've got is 4 different place markers. I've got the latitude and longitude for each of them, UTMs, northing and easting, and then I had a height variable, so this is my height in meters based on measurements of true pulse, and then here are the species codes. Okay, so that data currently lives in this table. Because we have northing and easting coordinates, we can now create an actual layer on our map with those coordinates. So you're going to right click on the .csv, and you're going to go to Display XY Data. You can choose if you want to use lats and longs. I like using UTMs. So for X, we're talking about eastings. So this is whatever is going to be represented on the x-axis, and on the y-axis, we're going to use northing. And you click OK. And then don't worry about this piece. You just say OK. And now you have this information here that's showed up. Something to point out in ArcGIS is you have these different options up here. It's sort of like a different way of viewing your table of contents. If you click here, it'll show only the layers that you have on your map, whereas here it'll show list by source. So that's the source of where things are located, so you can see the full extension for my H drive. Okay, so if we zoom in, you can see there's a little green, brown dots over here that are showing up. I believe if we right click, we can access what's called zoom to layer. So click on that and it brings you in right into where these dots are, but they're not that visible. I don't really like that color. So I'm going to click on here and change it and make it something more visible for everyone. So I just clicked on the symbol. Cool. So there it is. So now the next step is that you could actually turn this, see how it says .csv events? I actually don't really know exactly what this is at this point, but the next step would be to turn this into a usable type of file, such as a shapefile, which is a .shp. So you're going to right click on there, go Data, Export Data, and now you want to make sure that it's saving in the folder that you're working in. So you may want to call this, I don't know, Gishon Avenza. A little tip, avoid using spaces when you're writing in ArcGIS. It can sort of cause some issues, so I have no space. I just typed guicheonavenza.shp and it's saving in the folder where my other data was. And it's going to ask if you want to bring that layer on the map, and you say yes. And so here we go. Now I don't care about this anymore. And this is the data that if you open the attribute table, you've got all your attributes from before. And notice how I've got like a couple Douglas fir, I've got a cedar and a hemlock, and I've got different heights. So what we can now do with this is similar to what we did last week, is we can symbolize using that data. So if you right click on here and you go to your properties, symbology, I'm going to go by category. So I want to go by, say, species. I'm going to add all my values, and maybe I'm going to choose some different color scheme. Maybe make these a bit bigger. 9. There's lots of ways to play around with this, but just to give you an idea that now we can have on our map different species color-coded by trees color-coded by species. So there you go. You can play around with that some more. What we're expecting out of this assignment is that you will produce a map. You can use this template from last 2 assignments to produce this map, but this is basically how you bring .csv and make it usable with an ArcMap.